HubSpot has just released a new tool and it is called AEO, and that stands for Answer Engine Optimization. And what is it? Well, tides are changing. We've got the battle between using your AI tools as opposed to Google search, and we need to make sure that we're working in both courts, not just the one. And so HubSpot's just released the AEO tool. That is, it sounds very weird to say AEO tool, to be able to go through and to be able to do somewhat of the keyword indexing as that you did before, except we're really looking into prompts rather than keywords here. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to step you through the platform just to give you a bit of an idea of how things look. So it's available on Marketing Hub Pro and above, or if you want it as an add-on, it is $50 extra a month, but check your local country on where you're watching this just to make sure the pricing is correct as well, and it might fluctuate by the time you watch this video. So basically, if you head to the left-hand side, you will see a new little area called AEO in beta at the top. Now, I think this is an open beta to everybody. If it's not present in your portal, feel free to go up to the very top, product updates, and look for AEO. But I think it is actually in all the portals now since the spring spotlight update. Now, if this is the first time that you go through, there'll be an onboarding. So basically, it'll ask you a few questions in regards to the company itself, the domain. Now, it's really, really important before we get started. If we look through here and we go across to the AI area, we want to make sure that in the data sources area that you try to, at least as best as possible, fill this out, because what we're going to try and do is it's going to use the actual AI tool to look at company profile, products and services, and a number of other little things, obviously not fully built out in the test portal here, but this will give the AI the best possible chance to be able to give you the right information as well. So if you haven't got it set up, my first recommendation would be to go through and fill this information out as well, then get stuck into the AEO tool. Going back to the AEO tool, once you get things set up, I'm just going to quickly do a bit of a speed run exactly on what to expect and what we can see here on the actual platform as well. At the very top, you'll see dashboard, prompts, citations, and recommendations. Once everything has been all set up and you've basically gone through and it's indexed all the information, recommendations is going to be where you're going to play a lot of that play, and it's going to be a laundry list as well, specifically for you to go through and to be able to action and create that specific information. Now, depending on when you're watching it now and into the future, there will be the ability for you to spin up that content specifically as well on those platforms. But yeah, just obviously where we are at the moment, we can go ahead and prompt some of that information to go and spun up into blogs, social media posts, or even pages as well. So going back to the dashboards, we get a bit of an idea of where things are at. Now, I've gone ahead and pretended that we are HubSpot in this instance. So this is basically looking at HubSpot's brand visibility. So if you're any more than 9.52, you're doing a lot better than a $100 million business. So obviously when we go through, it's going to sort of sit there and look at the visibility across the different platforms, whether that be Perplexity, Gemini, or ChatGPT as well. It'll just basically start indexing from that specific time that you start as well. As you go through, it'll also index and start to make some suggestions on some of the competition that you've got there too. So in this instance here, this is HubSpot's competitors. It's looked at the share of voice essentially across those three different platforms that we've got as well. It'll look at the citation analysis as well, so looking at the top domains, the citations per channel that we've got there as well, and then we also look at the brand mentions rate versus competitors too. So what that kind of means is that it doesn't mention your name when it's sort of like applying itself to an answer. For example, in HubSpot's case, marketing automation, it might say that some of the top marketing automation tools out there might be HubSpot and a few others as well. So it's whenever it's sort of mentioned as opposed to the other ones too as well. I will say that obviously setting it up straight out of the packet, it's got to have time to ferment, if you want to call it that, just to make sure that it's starting to collect some information. So from day one, it's going to look pretty bare, but essentially through time, it'll start to track that information too. A good example is here at the competitor visibility as we go through. The prompts as it goes through. So this is great to really get a bit of an idea of specific prompts that people might be putting into and checking the visibility of your brand within that prompt. And they do a really good version here at visualizing to see what that looks like. For example, this one here is, what is the leading AI-powered marketing platforms for large enterprises? So it's put that prompt there. And then what it's got is three different sort of platforms. It's got ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini as well. And it's basically giving you that if you put in that prompt, what is going to be the output specifically to that, and where do you sit in the grand scheme of things as well. And it'll give you the whole output of that prompt as well, which is quite extensive, and you'll notice that there's 8 citations. So it's basically mentioning HubSpot 8 times when it's running that specific prompt as well. Perplexity output and also the Gemini output. So you can kind of see what the output's going to be specifically to that prompt and give you a bit of an idea. The prompt analysis here will look at that specific prompt as opposed to your competitors. Like, I just feel like I'm doing a full 360 in regards to SEO, because now the tools that they've sort of brought out, I'm able to now really analyze how I'm going against my competitors and actually start tracking where the traffic's coming through from and where I need to sort of like direct and start building out some more content specifically around either a prompt, a topic, or a theme. This is really going to help some get an understanding about what I need to do, mainly because of the recommendations area. This one here, obviously, we've got 8 citations and we're going pretty well. So recommendations are that there's no gaps. But if we I'll just try my hardest to see if I can't find one. Here's a good one. Why do enterprises struggle to unify email, social, and CRM marketing tools? We can notice that here that there's no mention of HubSpot whatsoever in this one too, probably across all 3 platforms. The recommendations, so it's basically going in at a granular level at that specific prompt and saying, well, basically, if we want to start to get, index specifically for this, we're going to need to create a couple of pages here with some content. If we click on this here, it's basically saying, hey, well, you kind of need to create a page, 7 reasons enterprise MarTech integration fails. It's looking at the target audience and secondary, and basically why it's driving this recommendation specifically. Now, at the moment, let me just move this. At the moment, this is what I'm a betting man. I'm a betting man myself. So at the moment, it's suggesting the content that I start. So I can, depending if you're with Claude, with ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever it might be, you might, in this instance, go through, select all of this, copy, and then paste, and then be able to sort of write content specific to that. Or if you're old school, you'll type it because you know it, but you probably won't. I am a betting man that in the future there will be a button there that says create the content for me. I am almost certain. So if you're watching it and it's already doing that, I can see into the future. But it's going to go through and recommend all of the gaps that you have specifically with that, which is really good. You can set there to say, okay, well, this one's a new one, and we'll set those ones up there. Essentially what that's doing is up the very top here is it's starting to add some things here that we need to be able to start collecting some information and recommendations on what content that we need to sort of create. So if you go through the onboarding workflow that you have, it should basically suggest the prompts that are recommended for you based on your ICP or your ideal client persona, also your services, your products, and also your company profile. So make sure that you get that stuff set up first before you kind of kick on. Now for Marketing Enterprise, you get 50 prompts. For Marketing Pro, you get 20 prompts. So if you've got some more there, you'll obviously look at, we can generate for AI. If you've got your customer profile set up properly, you can basically click on these. Your services or products, essentially, if we look at maybe not Market Sales Hub specifically. We look at the different buying phase. So the prompts specifically, are we trying to target? We're going back to the Brian Halligan days a little bit of like awareness, consideration, and decision phase, or evaluation as well, is that where do we want to sort of try and hyper focus some of the footprint that we've got on here as well. So we might want to go, well, it's decision, and then basically prompts you want to create a combination with, we'll just leave that as is. So basically it can go through here, and based on the buying phase of it, the Sales Hub specifically, it's found us a really great prompt. Does HubSpot Sales Hub include built-in payment processing? Remember, this is the type of people that we're looking for as well. We can continue this. This will add this to the list of it. And probably won't show us just too much yet because it's still running the prompt, but it will show us, obviously HubSpot's going to show up in this because it was the evaluation and decision phase, but this tool would look really kind of, if we go through maybe, I think because it's saying property, as in like property, data properties, I think it thinks that homeowners associations and things like that, I think it's defaulting to that. That's why I think this is happening. And that's why it says property management. So I'm going to guess that that's exactly why it is, but we'll look at the awareness. And the prompt that I did last time was really about decision phasing, so they know what they want, but you can kind of see from this prompt is how does sales CRM platforms impact revenue visibility for service businesses? It's not mentioning HubSpot, it's basically someone that's really searching for it. So my recommendation is that when you are doing this prompting and you're looking for prompts to sort of, I think if you're looking for prompts to go through it and optimize specifically, I think that you need to sort of, especially in the first sweep, do an even mix between the buyer journeys as well. If you go too heavy down, it's brand specific. It's not going to give you what you want. I think if you, awareness and consideration phases are really great because people are sort of like looking. You just need to be mindful that if you are going to do awareness and consideration is that when they land on a page, you need to offer something, and this goes back to the inbound days, is give them the opportunity to give them their details to be able to sort of be nurtured as well. So we're not completely cutting off the whole, funnel inbound days as we got. We're essentially just looking for new ways of traffic that comes through. So it's really important that if we are driving people here, they are at the awareness or consideration phases as well. We still are the old school methodologies on trying to capture those people and nurture them through and educate them. I think that is still not going to change. Once they find a business that can do exactly what they want to do and it is helpful and valuable for what they get, they will give you their details for sure. And the last tab that I've got here is the citation specifically. So when it mentions them in there as well, so we can kind of, gives you a whole bunch of more. Again, this is not going to be very helpful because it's day one, so we're collecting data from today onwards anyway, but you'll see the growth and decline on how the citations are going as well. We can look at citations by content type as well, so whether it's educational guide, how-tos, etc., or if we're looking at specific channels as well, so whether that's going to be affiliate links and sent through from someone to you, or whether it's owned by yourself, earned, so someone's written an article about it, or whether it's a peer article as well. And then a few more where the top domains of the citations come from, top owned citations, which will be really helpful as well. So out of the prompts that we've given to them, who should we give a lot of credit to specifically to drive that traffic as well? And then we can kind of look at the citations overall. So by and large, it's a new tool, and I expect it to change significantly over the next couple of months as it's out of beta. It is significantly better than it was when it was in private beta. I will give you that 110%. I think once people start to see the actual data and to start to see competitors and how that comes through is really going to motivate people to start sort of, in my opinion, it's been a little bit in purgatory at the moment in regards to content creation. Hey, is SEO sliding down? What's going on? We need to be focusing for, answering from chatbots and platforms like that. And there's been a lot of people that have kind of like pulled the brakes a little bit on content to be like, where do we go from here? This will give the confidence in regards to whether that's working, and it will drive that loop between SEO and AEO. Definitely don't stop the SEO perspective. Creating good quality content is good for everybody and your customers, and it can be used in marketing and sales and customer service. It can be used in the Knowledge Hub. It can be used for a lot of different reasons, so don't stop because of that. in this instance, now we're going to see two channels coming from both the traditional sense, but also now through the new age sense of AEO. And I just expect this to be the floor in regards to expectations of data. I think for this, we will get more data than we ever have than from Google in the past. The Google Search Console and understanding how we can manage this has all been very ambiguous and behind locked doors of a mega corporation. Here, I think we will be getting a lot more drill down and a lot granular detail in regards to what content and what we need to do to shift the dial. So overall, I think big kudos to the team for creating such a great tool. I think now people that don't know too much about AEO specifically are really going to start getting stepped through in how to do that. And I think it's great for our team as well here at Neighborhood to be able to what to focus on as well and where the traffic is coming from. So that's a bit of a quick speed through. Again, Marketing Hub Pro and above as an extra add-on if you need to as well. If you can't see it in there, look at product updates. But if you're not using this now, I suggest that you do it straight away, start collecting that data from day one. Don't forget to start to fill out and populate the area in the AI area with all the company details. If you have a ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity account, whatever, use that to help you populate that area from day one because it'll help you be more refined finding your customers. And that's it from me. If you wanted to check it out, there's a free grader, AEO grader on HubSpot. If you go and type into your ChatGPT, just find it or it's on the screen somewhere. You can go ahead and trial it out for your own brand as well. So go check it out and have fun.